All right. Well, let's move on to the next story. It's really hard to get away from that stuff. It's so big. It's so important. But I saw a clip earlier that made me laugh a lot. It was from Steve Bannon's War Room. And Bannon said that Alex Jones was on the forefront of the transhumanism stuff before everybody. And then he shows a clip of Alex from several years ago just screaming that interdimensional demons have possessed people and are sending the message. I just thought it was funny. I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. I mean, whatever. It's funny to watch. And that's I just brought that up for no reason, just to mention that it was funny. But we have this story about Alex Jones. Oh. All right. Alex Jones threatens to dish dirt on pathetic Donald Trump for pushing vaccines and tells his InfoWars listeners to move on from the Republican 2024 frontrunner. Alex Jones said Wednesday that he will dish all the dirt on Donald Trump now that the former president has come out more definitively in favor of vaccinations. In fact, maybe you know what? To get Trump's attention, maybe I should just dish all the dirt. The far-right media personality said on InfoWars. Jones said the impending gossip is not to hurt Trump. It's so people can know how pathetic he is when you think he's playing 4D chess. Trump was booed by his supporters earlier this month when he revealed that he received the COVID-19 booster shot. But I just want to point out, Trump's always been in favor of this. Trump spearheaded the Operation Warp Speed campaign. He's at his rallies telling people to get it. I don't understand how this is new information. But I do think it's interesting. I'm wondering what you guys think on Alex Jones, being upset about it.
Trump had previously said, he was pro-vax, but he was against. Trump was previously saying that he was pro-vax, but against the boosters. And then he
said he was against the boosters. I don't know. He was against.
I believe so.
I think he was kind of like boosters, right? And then he hit a point where he's like, I got the booster. So it was more. He was kind of walking it back a little bit, and then it seemed as though he kind of is now more in favor of it.
Well, he's definitely in favor of it.
At least what I'm hearing from the Trump supporters that I know is that he had plausible deniability early on. Like, he wanted to just get out of a pandemic. He wanted to get out of lockdowns, and that's why he put in Operation Warp Speed into place. And now he sees it, insofar as I understand it, he sees the vaccine as his legacy. That's why he's at times so desperately trying to make it his legacy. But the Trump supporters that I know are really angry about this. Like, I know we were talking the other night and you said that most of the people are just like, oh, you got the booster, so what? But every Trump supporter that I know, they're furious at the fact that he is still pushing it after what they perceive to be, there's data that's come out that he should be aware of, and I don't know why he's not aware of it.
Didn't Trump say that it's hard to criticize Biden now because Biden congratulated him on the work he did with the vaccine?
Did he say that?
I believe that. I got to fact check it really quickly, but he's on the same side of Fauci. Fauci is also saying Donald Trump is doing the right thing here and singing Trump's praises. So when you're on the same side as Biden and Fauci and promoting a big pharma, out of control, unaccountable, huge institution that doesn't have any liability, there should be a lot of questions here. And what Donald Trump said wasn't backed by science. He didn't present any data. He didn't present any kind of evidence. He went off and talked in tangents and generalizations about pushing a narrative and agenda that has been shoved on a lot of people.
It was just a generic mainstream media talking point that didn't explain anything.
He said you're going to die if you don't take this, essentially.
Trump said that.
Yes.
Did Trump literally say that?
His points, what was his words exactly? Like,
look it up.
We got to look up.
We're talking about the Bill O'Reilly interview, right?
No, we're talking about the Candace Owens interview.
Oh,
so there's a number of interviews where he's gone off and talked about this. So Donald Trump has been extremely bullish on big pharma, extremely supportive of the Trump scene, as he calls it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are like, wait, where's the science? Where's the data? At least talk to us in a way where you could convince us with information. You're not doing that. You're kind of speaking in general platitudes, and people are like, wait, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. So that's the larger question.
Donald Trump wants credit for this. Mm-hmm. Geraldo said, call it the Trump vaccine. Give him credit for this. Donald Trump will never let this go. And Donald Trump cares more about the opinion of the New York Times than his own constituents. Yeah, I think that was true with the hiring of John Bolton, with the refusal to fire Fauci, and even now. When there was an interview and they're like, why didn't you fire Fauci? I can't remember where it was. It might have been Candace Owens, but he was just like, oh, you know how the left gets, and people were like, are you kidding? Is that legit? I don't know what's going to happen in 2024, but I'll tell you this. Donald Trump was the avatar of the rage of populists, moderates in this country. And if there's nowhere to place that rage, it's going to go wild.
Yeah. Donald Trump specifically said 8 days ago that those who don't get the shots, those dying in the hospitals, didn't get the shot. Those are his exact words.
So,
and again, there's a lot of data. There's a lot of information coming out, whether it's the New York Times, Daily Mail, or even this latest Robert Koch Institute report that kind of cite the opposite of that. And there's a lot of debate surrounding that. So again, mass generalization, you're going to die if you don't get this. Well, there's a lot of information that's up for debate about that.
What Trump said was, oh no, the vaccine works. The ones that get very sick and go to the hospital are the ones that don't take the vaccine. So he is definitely implying heavily that you may end up definitely at least going to the hospital.
It's within a paradigm, right? So it's within a paradigm that you don't have. If you're in a paradigm that you have no control over your health or your well-being, right? If you're unhealthy and you believe that there's just this standard American diet that you can eat and that's it, that's just life, then that is a solution within that paradigm. Other people, in the natural health world, this is viewed as laughable. Like if you start following natural health, people that, are incredibly vibrant, right? And you start following them, just follow them on Instagram. Look up the top 10 natural health people that have incredible health, incredibly vibrant. Have you ever heard of Wim Hof, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be amazing if you could get him on the show, but people like that. But what's funny is I bet that you couldn't even bring anybody to talk about anything natural on the show because you couldn't even broadcast it. So, there's so much.
YouTube would take you down.
Yeah, like I haven't been sick in 10 years so much as a common cold, but I'm not going to get into that, So you've got to understand that, like, this is a paradigm that they're in, and this is the problem with not having free speech is that somebody could be correct within a paradigm, but then there could be this whole other paradigm in which there's another way of seeing it.
YouTube doesn't care for nuance. And the people who delete videos on social media are typically not versed in politics and can't tell the difference between, certain like issues. A good example is there was a post on Instagram. It was a famous pro-LGBTQ poem that used slurs, but it was like attacking the slur and then attacking those who would use it. This person who posted it got banned, and they were like, this is like a very famous poem from the 70s. And Instagram's like, we don't know, we don't care. Then you get, there was this really funny thing that happened when a bunch of white feminists started posting kill all men on Facebook, and Facebook started banning them all. And they were like, wait, why are you doing this? And it's like, Facebook doesn't care. They don't care about what you're intending to say. They don't care about your nuance. The dude in India who is working on this click farm, reading through this stuff, doesn't know anything about American culture, just sees words he was told to delete, and he deletes them. That's how it works.
Exactly. And many times, even including corporate media reports, that power is abused. People have been putting their own kind of perspective, their own kind of religious ideologies when it comes to censoring information on the internet. And that has been used because a lot of these big tech companies outsource it to different countries. And when different countries have different cultural issues, they implement those cultural issues sometimes when it comes to the censorship. But what happened to Dr. Robert Malone is absolutely awful.
But he went on, did he go on Rogan today?
According to many sources, yes. He did go on Rogan, and there's going to be a video published of that. There's a previous video with, of course, not Robert Malone, but there's another doctor that just Joe Rogan interviewed that's going viral, McCullough. Those videos were also censored on YouTube when McCullough uploaded it on his own YouTube channel. So, there's a famous saying, when you tear out a man's tongue, you're not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he might say.
And do you know what that comes from?
No.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Good. Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage, who said the reason people didn't like the show is because they wanted the white people to get married or something like that. I don't know.
I don't remember any of those
Yeah, that
details.
was his character.
Great.
The show had good writing before.
Yeah.
That's a great quote.
A controversial opinion. I like the ending, but that's a different topic.
Different
topic. I did. It's unique.
Get
it's
out.
different.
Get
It's
out
not.
of the
It's not a
building.
Disney movie. Excuse me.
Okay.
But before we get into that, before we talk about that, again, the censorship is totally out of control. And Glenn Greenwald really had a great comment about this. He says, I have a sigh of relief knowing, I'm ad-libbing here, that I'm protected by college-wearing flip-flop people drinking Starbucks away from scientific debate, keeping us safe from any kind of rational intellectual discourse here. He didn't say it that way, but he said something like that to that tone.
Think about Larry King and the people he would have on his show. People who are not prominent and people who had despicable ideas. And he would put them on this major show all the people of the world watching, was it CNN when he was doing the show? Mm-hmm. And they would be like, these people are nuts. Now, something weird is happening. You have Peter McCullough, he's a doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dr. Malone. Mm-hmm. And they go on the biggest podcast in the world. I'm assuming Malone's on the podcast, but they've also been, Malone's also been on Dark Horse with Brett Weinstein. And they talk about their opinions, their medical opinions, and it gets deleted. It's removed from the conversation. There's no opportunity to challenge. So you know what happens? Those ideas find the underground. People in the underground watch it uncritically and believe all of it. Sometimes they should. Sometimes they shouldn't. But YouTube seems to be either it is they care so much more about making money, so they will delete anything remotely controversial, creating this hyperpolarization or a form of it, or they like creating the hyperpolarization and there's something nefarious behind it.
Yeah, in the natural health world, the big frustration is that this could have been a moment to get people to look at health and vitality. So the natural health world, you have people that are not only massive, again, I'm kind of dancing around some things here, but it's like massively just infused with vitality. I mean, if you've seen the Wim Hof videos of him hiking up Mount Everest in his underwear,
incredible.
right? There's these incredible things that you could be doing. So this could have been this big moment, and it didn't have to be mutually exclusive. It didn't have to be big pharma or natural, but we could have just included that in the conversation. You could have had the whole country becoming healthier than ever and mandating. No, don't mandate it, but I'm just saying.
There's that meme where it's like, doctors, you can't talk about recommending exercise, proper diet, sunlight, vitamin D. Even though Fauci himself has brought some of this up, for the most part, it's not a part of the equation in the mainstream. There's only one solution, and that solution is vaccination. My response is, I mean, even Fauci's talked about vitamin D and the importance of it, but then these politicians, and Fauci included, want lockdowns, which put people in boxes with no sunlight. They get no vitamin D, and then they get sick. Yeah. I don't even know if natural is necessarily even the right word for the broader picture of just health. Yeah. Just general health.
I think he talked about vitamin D once, and the Wim Hof method. The Wim Hof has literally broken scientific belief systems with some of the things he's been able to pull off. And as soon as everything happened, I remember just doing the Wim Hof method. As soon as COVID hit, I got on a farm in Pennsylvania, and I just started doing cold baths and breathing exercises. And it's personally, I can't tell you guys what to do, but personally, I saw a lot of results from it. And again, we should be able to have a discussion. We're not medical doctors. We're not scientists. We're not here to tell you what to do. But these conversations we should be having in an open platform, and we can't even really do that.
So this is why it's important to be. This is why the censorship is bad. And I think everyone gets this, but I'll just iterate it or reiterate it. When I call a doctor, I get COVID, and the doctor says it's a virus. Go to bed. And I was like, okay. I ended up talking to Joe Rogan because I knew he got some kind of treatment. And then he said, look, man, find a better doctor, call somebody. And then I called a private practice out here, and I talked to a doctor, and they said, I want you to take these specific medications. Here's the problem. That was a doctor telling me what to do. But Don Lemon says not to do that. So, at what point do we say, oh, we're going to file a lawsuit against these companies for intervening in proper medical care? When Joe, this is what really pisses me off. Joe Rogan comes out and he says, here's what I got. Someone calls their doctor and the doctor says, I want you to do this. And that person says, no, doc, I won't because Don Lemon told me not to. Is there going to be like a wrongful death suit when CNN makes fun of Joe Rogan for taking horse dewormer and it makes people not want to get medicated? My concern is that people in Africa who need ivermectin for river blindness will now think it's some kind of sterilizing agent because a bunch of journalists reported that it was. It's insane. So we need to be able to have conversations that are reasonable and rational, but these big tech censors ain't letting it happen. Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about. So you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.